Welcome back to Beautiful Bonsai. Across every region of Vietnam, from the four distinct seasons of the north to the harsh sun and dry winds of the central region and the fertile waterways of the Mekong Delta, Buddhist pine has evolved into local varieties with remarkably different biological characteristics. Choosing the right one depends entirely on your climate, your living space, your purpose of cultivation, and your personal aesthetic taste. Today, let us continue exploring the fascinating world of Vietnamese Buddhist pine. Perhaps you may not know that the traditional craft villages of Viet Cai in Nam Dinh and Bach Thuan in Thái Binh are among the oldest ornamental tree-growing regions in Vietnam. They were also among the very first places where Buddhist pine was cultivated on a large scale. The trees grown here carry the unmistakable spirit of Vietnam's traditional culture and classical bonsai philosophy. Northern Vietnam experiences four clearly defined seasons. Gentle spring drizzle encourages fresh buds to emerge. Summer brings intense heat. Autumn offers cool, pleasant weather. And during the bitterly cold winter, tree growth slows dramatically. Because of this climate, northern Buddhist pines grow much more slowly. Yet that slow growth creates remarkable qualities: dense, solid wood, fine, compact grain, rough, weathered bark, deep, natural fissures, and layers of peeling bark that reveal the passage of time. Most northern bonsai and landscape trees are trained from a very young age. As a result, their trunks develop elegant movement, flowing naturally with graceful changes in rhythm and direction. The artisans who specialize in Buddhist pine are known for extraordinary patience and exceptional craftsmanship. Their foliage pads are refined, perfectly flat, smooth like velvet, and arranged in carefully balanced layers. Every open space between the foliage is deliberately calculated, allowing the viewer's eye to appreciate the trunk, its movement, and the tree's inner structure. Influenced by traditional Vietnamese bonsai forms, such as the formal upright, the ancient tree, the dragon form, the brotherhood composition, the three blessings, the five blessings, and forest plantings, many northern nurseries continue to create works that faithfully preserve this distinctive classical style. Today, however, the internet and social media have opened Vietnamese bonsai to the influence of international design. A younger generation of artists has quickly embraced these new ideas, creating medium-sized and miniature Buddhist pines with refined craftsmanship, lighter silhouettes, greater elegance, and a fresh contemporary appearance, perfectly suited to today's vibrant bonsai market. Southern Vietnam, particularly the famous bonsai region of Cai Lay, Tien Giang province, is blessed with the fertile alluvial soils of the Tien River and the Ho River, together with warm sunshine throughout almost the entire year. As a result, southern Buddhist pines develop at a completely different pace and with a very different character from those grown in northern Vietnam. With abundant warmth and exceptionally favorable growing conditions, these trees grow with remarkable speed. Their trunks are usually fuller and more rounded. The bark is smoother, lighter in color, and less rugged than that of northern trees. One of the greatest strengths of southern Buddhist pine is the rapid development of its powerful root base. Massive nabari can be achieved in a considerably shorter time than is typically possible in the north. The styling philosophy in southern Vietnam is also more relaxed and more natural. Artists rarely force the foliage pads into perfectly flat, polished layers, as is common in the north. Instead, they prefer softly rounded pads, often resembling domes or gently rounded serving trays, allowing the foliage to grow with greater fullness and a vibrant, healthy appearance. Their branch placement, extended branches, and sweeping lines feel open, free, and full of movement. With a stronger focus on commercial production, the nurseries of Cai Lay have developed highly efficient cultivation methods. They are capable of producing large numbers of young trees and pre-bonsai stock, supplying landscaping projects, urban developments, and private gardens throughout Vietnam. Their preferred styles are natural upright forms, gentle windswept designs, and softly flowing silhouettes. Beautiful, easy to maintain, and accessible to a wide range of bonsai enthusiasts. Beyond differences in climate and soil, the Buddhist pines grown in Nam Dinh and Binh also differ in many ways from those cultivated in Cai Lay, Tien Giang. Northern Buddhist pine, the traditional native lineage. The Buddhist pines cultivated in Nam Dinh and Binh are predominantly native Vietnamese stock, preserved and refined through generations of bonsai families. Many older specimens also originated from ancient mountain-collected material gathered from the rocky highlands and northern foothill regions many decades ago. The wood of northern Buddhist pine is exceptionally dense, hard, and finely textured. While the tree is still young, its trunk remains remarkably flexible, allowing artists to create dramatic twists, sharp directional changes, and flowing curves without crushing or splitting the heartwood. As the tree matures, the wood gradually becomes extremely rigid, preserving its structure and maintaining its artistic form for generations. The foliage of northern Buddhist pine is generally long, thick, and firm, with slightly pointed needle tips. Combined with its dense branch structure, this allows new buds to emerge abundantly along the horizontal branches after careful pruning. These natural characteristics provide the perfect foundation for creating smooth, perfectly flat foliage pads, one of the defining features of traditional northern Vietnamese bonsai. Buddhist pine is cultivated extensively in Cai Lay, Tien Giang province. Among bonsai enthusiasts, there are different opinions regarding the origin of these trees. Some believe they were introduced decades ago from subtropical Buddhist pine varieties, including certain Taiwanese and Chinese cultivars. Others suggest that, beyond specialized cultivation techniques, the southern trees simply possess vigorous natural growth that is especially well suited to the fertile river landscapes of southern Vietnam. Only the experienced growers of the region can truly provide the most authoritative answer. Southern Buddhist pine has a wood structure with larger vascular channels, allowing nutrients to move rapidly throughout the tree. As a result, the trunk develops into a full, rounded, almost cylindrical form, growing at an impressive speed. Because the wood contains more moisture and develops quickly, artists generally prefer upright forms, windswept designs, or gently flowing silhouettes, allowing the tree's natural vigor to become part of its artistic beauty. The foliage is usually broader than that of northern trees, with rich green color and a naturally glossy appearance. One characteristic of this variety is its strong tendency to produce vigorous upward shoots. For this reason, rounded dome-shaped foliage pads become dense very quickly. However, creating the perfectly flat foliage pads typical of northern bonsai requires considerably more maintenance, as new shoots continue extending upward throughout the growing season. The essence of bonsai is understanding the character of the material itself and allowing the tree to express its own nature. Artists in both regions have developed styling approaches that best complement the qualities of the trees they cultivate. Northern artists, working with dense wood, compact foliage, and short, fine branching, often favor traditional classical styles. They devote great attention to intricate trunk movement, refined branch architecture, and smooth, multi-layered foliage pads that seem to float like drifting clouds. Southern artists, working with vigorous trunks, rapid growth, and strong upward shoots, generally prefer more open, dynamic compositions, upright forms, windswept silhouettes, rounded foliage masses, and powerful expressions of vitality. Together, These traditions remind us of one simple truth. There is no single material that is universally superior. There is only the material that is most suitable for a particular artistic vision. Bonsai knows no boundaries, and true beauty has no single standard. The remarkable diversity of Vietnamese Buddhist pine is both a gift of nature and a reflection of human creativity. We hope this presentation offers a balanced and open-minded perspective, encouraging meaningful exchange among bonsai enthusiasts, especially those who share a passion for Vietnamese Buddhist pine. Please leave a comment telling us which type you appreciate most. And don't forget to join us in the next episode, where we will explore the role of Buddhist pine in landscape architecture and garden design. Buddhist pine in landscape design and bonsai. Today, as trade and transportation continue to expand, northern and southern Buddhist pines are exchanged actively throughout Vietnam. Growers in the south often acquire northern material to diversify their collections. Likewise, northern nurseries bring southern trees north to enrich landscape projects or to make use of their massive trunk bases, shortening the time required to develop mature bonsai. The market has become increasingly vibrant. Landscape architecture and garden design. If you are a landscape designer or the owner of a spacious private estate, seeking large Buddhist pines with impressive upright forms, windswept silhouettes, rounded canopies, and rapid shade coverage, then the trees from Cai Lay, Tien Giang may be an excellent choice. Their vigorous growth, massive root bases, and fast canopy development make them especially suitable for large-scale landscape projects. Traditional bonsai collections. If your passion lies in classical bonsai, if you value time, character, and refined artistic detail, and if you seek trees with compact ramification, dense hardwood, intricate carving potential, and perfectly refined foliage pads, then the traditional northern lineage from Nam Dinh and Thai Binh may be the ideal choice. These trees require years of careful cultivation and exceptional patience, making them especially valuable for serious bonsai collections intended to be preserved across generations. Mini bonsai and global opportunities. Globalization has created new opportunities for both traditions. Around the world, the demand for miniature bonsai continues to grow. Collectors living abroad or in modern urban apartments can now experience Vietnamese Buddhist pine through compact miniature creations. Whether the material comes from northern or southern Vietnam, once shaped by the skilled hands of Vietnamese artists, these small trees carry the same spirit, the same vitality, and are far easier to transport, display, and care for. Dear friends, at Thuan Garden, located in the heart of the famous ecological garden village of Bach Thuan, formerly Vu Thu District, Thai Binh, and now part of Tan Thuan Commune, Hưng Yên Province, we have chosen to preserve and continue cultivating the traditional northern lineage of Vietnamese Buddhist pine. Its quiet elegance, its timeless character, and the distinctive craftsmanship of our homeland remain the values we proudly uphold. At the same time, we sincerely respect every creative school and every artistic approach because it is this diversity that gives Vietnamese bonsai its unique spirit. We wish good health, lasting inspiration, and continued success to every bonsai artist, every nursery, and every tree lover around the world. Thank you very much for watching. We look forward to seeing you again in our next program.